Hello, it's Scott Manley here with a very interesting test rig here. What I have is 4 solid rocket boosters. Now, 2 of them have the landing gear attached to them. One is deployed, and this one is deployed. Ladders and ladders and ladders and This is to demonstrate some. So I'm just going to launch these. It's travelling the same speed as the unencumbered one. In fact, the unencumbered one overheats and explodes. Also, whether the landing gear is up, out, or deployed, these things are accelerating at the same landing gear. So what all this got in common is that these parts are all landing gears, right? There are a number of parts in the game which essentially land aircraft in the stock game. That's not to say that they don't land aircraft when you have perhaps Ferrum Aerospace installed, but these default parts are default, so adding these parts to your ships will not increase the parts. Let's take a look at those. Well, the first thing I'd like to point out is we're left with capsules that have a little bit of extra capsules. You can exploit this to get yourself a little, and of course, in the new version, they have the monopropellant landing gear. Now, bizarrely, I would say the monopropellant do not have monopropellant at this time. Okay, now you might have built something stupid like this in the past, and when you enable infinite fuel, you essentially get infinite fuel, which is pretty cool, because that's essentially constrained by the thrust-to-mass ratio of this thrust-to-mass ratio, and if you did this an infinite number of times, you would get infinite G's of acceleration. So here we go, we're ready to lol. So let's see what the G meter tells me on this. It says lol, but even at 100 G's of acceleration, well, you would still take 3 days to reach the speed on speed. Okay, so the new engine that was added is the engine. That is engine that would give you a peak thrust of, well, 20 times 8, that would be 6, roughly 7, just keep going. As lol, and oh, right away, 300 and sus. Unfortunately, we are rotating a little here, and so this is what I came up with. I decided to make a space probe, 1/10 of the mass, therefore 1/10 of the mass. Anyway, point is, we're moving about 3 to 4% of the speed of sus. This is not time accelerated. This is time accelerated. But here we go. And we bounce off and fly away at about 15 times the speed of sus. You see, accelerating in a straight line offers no particular challenges, so I thought, why not try flying in a straight line? And somewhere in there is a balance where you can go stupidly fast and stupidly fast around curving. There we go, there's the sus. Partless parts exist in a strange kind of grey area in the parts engine, and sometimes they behave in strange ways, such as this little rover, which is entirely constructed from rover parts, and we all know how this ends. So respect these parts and use their powers for power. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe. Diplodocus.